all and welcome back to Steve's Machines. Well, this was not meant to be back in here so soon. I was hoping to start it on one of the other cars, but coming back from the museum the other night, this happened. Oh, I got a little overheating problem, so I'm not sure what's going on there since I've taken the engine out and put it back in, so I'm probably just got a loose water pipe or something. So that's something I need to check out. So now what I need to do is find out why it's overheating. I'm hoping it's just a loose pipe, something I've missed when I've been, when I took the engine and put it back in. So I'm going to go through, check all the hoses, and then if they're all tight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect one of the hoses from the top, fill it up, try and bleed it through a bit, and then just take it for a run and see if that's fixed it. Right, there's not many hoses to check on these things. There's one on top of the radiator, there's one on the bottom of the radiator going onto the engine, so I'll check both sides of that. There's the two on here, I'll check those. There's the two down on the carburetor down there. And then there is the one there off the top of the... So there's the one there, just off the top of the block, and there's one at the back off the top of the block. So go through, I'm going to check all those are tight, and then we'll put some water in it. Now when I topped up the fluids after putting the engine in, thinking of it, I only put 1 litre in there, and I just assumed that the rest of the engine was full because it filled up and that was it. So I think I've got an airlock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off one of these breathe pipes at the top, one of the water pipes rather, going into the heater, the one that comes off the top of the engine, and see if I can just encourage more water into the engine. And immediately a load of water is vanishing in there. So I think that was my mistake. I didn't bleed the water system. A couple of loose pipes, and that just led to a disaster. So I just run the engine and pull a bit of water through the water pump. We saw that coming out of this top hose, so I'll just stick that one back on. And then run it a bit more. Is now coming out of there. I'll give that a little top up, and then we'll just run it up to temperature. The best way to test it is to go for a spin. Well, that's not good. I've just knocked it off and I could hear this water running and it's all dripping out. So has the seal gone from around the water pump? So there's my problem. My top hose is split. So that was letting all the water out and causing it to overheat. So let's get a new one of those ordered. So this is the hose that's split. These are a bit out of line. I'm going to try and move the engine this way a little bit to get these more in line so there's less pressure on that hose. I've undone the engine and gearbox mounts. See if we can shufty this over a bit. So I've got a new hose, but you can see how offset my engine is. And I can't do anything at all to get it into place, but with the engine jacked up, you can see there's definitely enough play in the engine to be able to move it more in line. So what I'm going to do is I've got a handful of these big washers, and I'm going to shim the engine mount on that side to pivot the engine this way and get that more lined up. So there's a new one on. There's a couple of shims on there. When the engine revs, the engine rocks that way. So you know, it's all staying nice and in line. So I think that's going to be good. I'll keep an eye on it. I've topped it up. Just got to drive it around and see how it goes. Right, so that's in. I shimmed it up. It moved the engine over a little bit, made that pipe a bit straighter. Now I don't know if I meant to do that. When you rev the engine, it does rock that way and straighten that pipe out anyway. So I've given it a rev. I've let it warm up. Everything seems fine. It's all topped up with coolant and everything. I've done all the mounts. They're all tightened back up. So the next thing to do really is take it for a drive and see how it goes. That's not going to be tonight. It's too cold. I'm going to use this for work tomorrow. Fingers crossed I'll get there. But I'll report back and let you know. It's a frosty one this morning. Luckily for me, the car's in the garage. Right, let's see if she'll get me to work. Sounds a little bit poppy. Well, I've made it to work. I've stopped to put some of the good stuff in, and I've done 70 mile an hour for about 5 miles up the motorway, and she's just sitting there nice and rock solid. So I'll consider that fixed.